And to test my vocabulary.
Okay.
Miranda, you want a bench lift?
Just
Page 2.
to.
Pop up this way. It's quicker.
It's quicker.
The rabbis teach when you come to the bima, you take the shortest route, and then when you go down, you take the longer one.
Oh, there we go. Thank you. I can't like them.
Hold on a second.
I did it. I did it.
Oh, it's a high miracle.
It's a miracle. It's a new year. It's a miracle. Okay. Look at that. Wow. It's so pretty. Our source of light and truth, creator of the eternal law of goodness, help us to find knowledge by which to live. Lead us to take the words we shall speak into our hearts and our lives. Bless all who enter this sanctuary in need, all who bring the offerings of their hearts. May our worship lead us to acts of kindness, peace, and love. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav, v'tzivanu l'chadlik nefesh
Man,
and back. Out this way.
that's right. We're in a rush to get, and then we want to take our time. What do you think? Let's continue on page 6. On page 6, let's read responsibly in English. May the door of this synagogue be wide enough to receive all who hunger for love, all who are lonely for friendship. May the door of the synagogue be narrow enough to shut out pettiness and pride, envy and enmity. May it be too high to admit complacency, selfishness, and harshness.
May this synagogue be for all who enter the doorway to richer and meaningful life.
Let's jump ahead to page 20. Lecha Dodi comes to us from the holy city of Sfat. And this evening we'll do verses 6 through 9. 6 through 9. Let's turn to page 22, some verses from Psalm 92, the psalm designated for Shabbat. And let's read in English together. A song for Shabbat. It is good to praise Adonai, to sing hymns to your name, O Most High, to proclaim your steadfast love at daybreak, your faithfulness each night. With a 10-stringed harp, with voice and lyre together, you have gladdened me by your deeds, Adonai. I shout for joy, your handiwork. How great are your works, Adonai, how very subtle your designs. A brute cannot know, a fool cannot understand this. Page 24 will continue. Shalom Aleichem. Everyone please rise as we turn to page 146, Baruch Hu. Baruch Hu Adonai HaMevorach.
Baruch Adonai HaMevorach Le'olam Va'ed.
Baruch Adonai HaMevorach Le'olam Va'ed. May be seated. Let's continue on 147, reading together in the English. Adonai, your majesty is proclaimed by the marvels of earth and sky. Sun, moon, and stars testify to your power and wisdom. Day follows day in endless succession, and the years vanish, but your sovereignty endures. Though all things pass, let not your glory depart from us. Help us to become co-workers with you, and endow our fleeting days with abiding worth. Baruch atah Adonai Ha'ma'ariv B'Ravim. Page 148, let's read responsibly in the English. In each age we receive and transmit Torah. At each moment we are addressed by the world.
In each age we are challenged by our ancient teaching. At each moment we stand face to face with truth.
In each age, we add our wisdom to that which has gone before. At each moment, the knowing heart is filled with wonder.
In each age, the children of Torah become its builders and seek to set the world firm on a foundation.
Baruch atah Adonai, Ohev Amo Yisrael. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. V'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha b'chol levacha u'b'chol nafshecha u'b'chol miyotecha v'hayu advarim ha'ele asher anochi mitzavecha hayom al lavecha v'shinatan levanecha v'dibarta bam v'shivtecha b'leitecha uv'lektecha b'derech uv'shoktecha uv'punecha uv'shartam liot al yadecha v'hayu latotafot b'neinecha uv'tavtam al mezuzot beitecha uv'hisharecha Leman tizkeru asitem et kol mitzvotai v'tem kedoshim le'Elohechem. Ani Adonai Elohechem asher hotzeiti etchem me'eretz Mitzrayim v'yom lachem le'Elohim. Ani Adonai Elohechem. Page 151, let's read responsibly in English. We worship the power that unites the universe, a promise of harmony for all.
Yet that oneness eludes our grasp as imperfection we abound.
Before our eyes, there's a vision of perfection, order, and goodness.
There is evil enough to break the heart, and there is good enough to exalt the soul.
When will redemption come?
When we grant everyone what they claim for ourselves.
Long ago, we escaped the tyranny of Egypt. Our people saw the power of the Most High.
We learned God's president redeems time and image, so we celebrate this power that makes for freedom.
Clap of 152. Mi chamocha ba'elim Adonai, mi chamocha nedar ba'kodesh, lo ratihilot, lo sefer, malchutecha ra'u vanecha, bokei amiknei Moshe, zeili anu v'yamru, Adonai yimloch le'olam va'ed, v'ne'emar kifat Adonai et Yaakov, ugalo bi'ad chazak mimenu, Baruch atah Adonai, Ga'al Yisrael. Top of page 153, the first two lines of Hashkivenu. Let's read together in English. Give us a place to rest, O God. Shelter us in the long, soft evening shadows of your truth. You are true protection and safety. In your presence we find love and acceptance. Watch over us as we go forth. Prepare for us as we return. Spread over us your shelter of peace, over all we love, over our Jerusalem and yours. Baruch atah Adonai, haporei sukat shalom aleinu, V'al kol amo Yisrael, v'al Yerushalayim. Page 154, Bishamru. Please rise, page 155, the opening words for the Amidah. Adonai sitzai tivcha, u'piyani tehilatecha. Adonai sitzai tivcha, u'piyani tehilatecha. Adonai, open up my lips, and my mouth may declare your praise. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu Elohei Avotenu v'Imotenu Elohei Avraham Elohei Yitzhak Elohei Yaakov Elohei Sarah Elohei Rivka Elohei Rachel Elohei Leah Ha'el Hagadol Ha'gibor Ha'nura El Elyon Gomer Chasadim Tovim, V'chonei HaTov, V'zocher Chasdei HaTovim Ahod, U'mevii Goel Livnei Bneihem, V'lan Shemo B'Yahava, Melech Ozer Hoshia U'Magei, Baruch atah Adonai, Magid Avraham, Yizrak Sarah, Atahi Borei Adonai, Mechaye Beiti Matarav L'Hoshia, Mashiach Ruach, U'Movei HaGasher, Mechakel Chayim B'Chesed, Mechaye Beiti B'Rachamim Rabim, Sohomet Yofi B'Rofei Cholim, U'Matir Rasulim, U'Mekayeh Emunato, Rishenei Afar, Michalocha Al-Yurot, U'Midol Melech, Melech B'Hit U'Mechayeh, U'Matzliach Yeshua, V'Ne'eman Atah L'Chayot Beiti, Baruch atah Adonai, Mechaye HaBeiti. Continue middle of page 160. Let's read together in English. In these hours of rest and renewal, open our hearts to joy and our minds to truth. May all who struggle find rest on this day. May all who suffer find solace. May all who hurt find healing on this day. May all who despair find purpose. May all who hunger find fulfillment on this day. And may we all live in such a way that this day fulfill its promise. Baruch atah Adonai, mekadesh ha-Shabbat. Page 163, let's read responsively. For the good in us which calls us to a better life, we give thanks.
For the strength to improve the world with our hearts and our hands, we offer praise.
For the desire in us which leads us to work for peace, we are grateful.
For life and nature, harmony and beauty are the hope of tomorrow. All praise to the source of being.
Turn to page 164. We close out, as always, with a prayer for peace. Shalom Rav. Baruch atah Adonai, המבורכת עמו ישראל, בשבוע. Page 253, the Mishberach. If you have names, you may recite them now.
Aubrey and Roger and Nancy and Linda and Teresa's mom.
Nancy, Shane, Nathan, and Steve, David, Rachel, Cindy, Michael, Elizabeth, Gail, Dave and Kevin, and Donna.
Continue with the prayers for our community, pages 258, 259. Mark Rose in the prayer for our congregation, please.
Source of all being, may the children of this community learn these passions from us: love of the Torah, devotion and prayer, and support of the needy. May we guide with integrity, and may our leadership be in your service. May those who teach and nourish us be blessed with satisfaction, and may we appreciate their time and their devotion. Bless us with the fruits of wisdom and understanding, and may our efforts bring fulfillment and joy.
Baruch atah Adonai, shotecha levatcha b'yira na'avod. Ed Light, prayer for our country.
Thus says Adonai, this is what I desire, to unlock the fetters of wickedness and untie the cords of lawlessness, to let the oppressed go free, to break off every yoke. Share your bread with the hungry, and take the rich and poor into your home. When you see the naked, give clothing, and do not ignore your own kin. If you banish the yoke from your midst, the menacing hand, the evil speech, if you offer compassion to the hungry, and satisfy the famished creature, then your light shall shine in darkness. Those aren't just words. The country ought to take it seriously.
Shalom, shalom, Yerushalayim, Yishlayu Avayich. Pray for the peace of Jerusalem. May those who love you prosper. Ed Gallen, please.
Aminu Shabbat Shur Yisrael, Koren Esnet Meis Yisrael, Rishis Mikas Noseinu, Akeno Latmo Raskas Devo, Rose Latmo Sikashno Meto, Ushlam or Amino Roshel, Shira Biosel, Sakri Beso Devo Meto, Anatapa Shalom Lawrence. O Heavenly One, protector and redeemer of Israel, bless the state of Israel and mark the coming hope for all who seek peace. Shield us beneath the wings of your love. Spread over the canopy of your peace. Send us your light and truth for all who seek your lives. Guiding them with your counsel. Establish peace in the land, fullness of joy for all who dwell there. And we all say, Amen.
Amen. Well, it's resolution time, and I always thought that I should run a survey of Jews who make resolutions on Rosh Hashanah and see if they're any different or if they lasted until the secular New Year. That would only be like three or so months, and I doubt that the way people on the internet talk about resolutions, I doubt if people make Rosh Hashanah resolutions if they make it to Yom Kippur. But the new year, the new secular year is a time for new beginnings, and people, like the idea of starting over. And because I've stopped reading about politics on the internet, I'm left with cat videos and beagle videos, and interesting kinds of posts. So there are two types of posts regarding resolutions on the internet. There are analyses of who makes these resolutions, and apparently 75% of the population at large make resolutions. 75%. What they are about boils down to health and fitness, most of them. Right? I mean, it's negligible. Somebody might say, I'm going to get better with my finances, I'm going to find love, I'm going to, whatever. But the two more are health and fitness. And how few stick to these resolutions longer than 2 to 4 weeks. A whopping 24% of people who make resolutions stick with them past a month. I guess it gets too difficult to, they bite off so much more they can chew. The second kind of internet posts are, we know the people who make them, and then so the second type is how to make them stick. Ideas on how to make your resolutions last longer than 4 weeks. One article that I read says, make a specific commitment. Don't say, I'm going to get in shape. Well, if you're already around shape, what shape do you want to be, right? If you're already, if you already have a partner, why are you going to look for better love or whatever? So make a specific commitment. And break it down into small, doable things, right? Small, doable things, and forget the grand, dramatic stuff. I'm going to go to the gym every day at 6 a.m. I'm going to be there right when it opens. I'm going to stay there for 2 hours. Yeah, you do it twice, and then the third day the alarm goes off, and you just roll back over, all right? Resolutions. And I'm not a big, fan of those kinds of things, but it's a beautiful tradition, right? Resolutions are all about aspiring, aspirations, and empowerment. I want to make a change. I can do it. I'm going to make that change. I'm aware of something that needs to be changed, and I'm going to change it. And we have the ability to shape our futures, right? I'm going to spend less time on the phone. I spend so much time on the phone that I can't go 5 minutes anywhere without pulling the phone out. Okay. Now, am I going to leave the phone at home? Am I going to? No, but turn it off, right? You're in a place where nobody else is on their phone. Why are you on your phone? Put it away. My phone gets Shabbos off. A student of mine in Tampa made my iPhone a little sleeping bag. It was a Shabbos sleeping bag, so that I could put the phone away on Shabbos. Look, I know the Torah says nothing about iPhones, but if our animals get Shabbos off, our iPhones should get Shabbos off as well. Right? But when we make a resolution, we're acknowledging the fact that we have the ability to shape our future. We are not playthings in the universe. We don't have to settle. We can improve, we can do things, we can make a difference, we can make a change. And sometimes the resolution isn't just for us, it's for other people as well. So in order for resolutions to make sense or for them to stick, we have to look at the why. Why is it important? Why is it important that we put our phones away during services? That way the rabbi doesn't feel like you're blowing him off. The way that your fellow congregants don't feel like you don't care what's going on. One reason. But let's think of a more global thing. I love to go to the gym. For about 20 years of my life, I was a gym rat. Even though I could barely walk when I left the gym, I was a gym rat. And it was important to me. And so, I went to the gym, not because I made a resolution, but because I wanted to be healthier. Okay, that's a grand idea. I'm going to go to the gym and be healthier. And then you realize, well, just going to the gym, you actually have to do something. Going into the gym, you get credit for showing up, but you've got to work at it. You've got to actually sweat. You've got to actually move the weights, right? So if I just show up at the Y and I run into the director and he says, "Hey, how you doing, Rabbi?" And I say, "Hey, what's new?" He's like, "Okay." And then I go home. I got credit for going to the Y, but I haven't made myself any healthier. Right? So one of the whys is because I want to be healthier. Now, why is it important to be healthier? See, I want to be healthier, but now what's the why? Why do I want to be healthier? I want to live longer? Maybe. Why is it important to be healthier? See, that's the why. I want to go to the gym, I want to get healthier, but why? What is it about being healthier that makes me feel better? Well, if I'm healthier, I want to make a list of things I can do. I can walk my dogs again. I can go out for a walk with Steve, and after half a block, I'm no longer feeling like I'm going to pass out. Right? So I want to be healthier so I can enjoy life a little bit more. So I can get out and walk around Ritter Park because it's a very, very nice park. It's not Central Park in New York, but it's a nice park. So I want to get healthier so I can do more, so I can feel better. Now, I have what I want to do. I want to get healthier. I want to be able to walk a little bit more. So now when I go to the gym, I know what I should do. Maybe I should get on the treadmill. Maybe I should get on the bike. There was a gym in New York that I belonged to. They had an indoor track that you could run laps or walk laps, right? So now do bite-sized things. Don't go to the gym and say, I'm going to work out, I'm going to do every exercise I can. Well, for one day you'll do it. The next day you'll be so sore that you'll say, I'm never going to go back to the gym. And then you put the resolution away and you don't get healthier, you actually, get worse or whatever. And then the next year you roll around, I'm going to go to the gym again. I'm going to go 7 days a week. I'm going to get there when it opens. And then 3 days in, again. You just break it down into smaller pieces, right? I'm going to go to shul more. All right, what does that mean? Okay, why do you want to go to shul more? I want to make sure Mark Rosen is doing what he says he's doing. I want to make sure that the rabbi is doing what he says he's doing. I want to make sure Miranda's not stealing the silverware. I mean, that kind of stuff, right? All right, so fine. But why? Do you want to learn more? Do you want to be more active? You have to ask the question, why? You just can't say, here's my resolution. Ask why. See, when we reconnect with the why, it can lead to new and substantial paths and help us get there and get us to where we want and to get us to what we want. Right? Just saying, I want to be healthier. Why? What does that mean? I don't want to be diabetic. All right. So getting healthier, if you have a history of diabetes, that might help. Getting fit might help. I want my knees to feel better. Getting healthier losing some weight might help, right? So the why is just as important as the what. And then after the why, you get to the how. And you just break it down into all little pieces. My students who want to learn the service, they're overwhelmed when they take a look at the Siddur. They say, how can I do this? A prayer at a time. Start out with Modeh Ani. Once you have Modeh Ani, move on to Asher Yatzar. Once you have Asher Yatzar, move on to the morning blessings. That's how Max did it. Our friend Max, a prayer at a time. That's how our friend Diane is doing it, a prayer at a time. You don't have to come to synagogue and memorize the entire Siddur after your first trip to a Shabbat service. You just have to be open, and it's going to be hard work. But follow the method that I've outlined. It may not get you to the gym 3 times a week, but you'll achieve more than you want or thought that you could achieve by asking the what, the why, the how. Whatever you want to achieve, if you follow that, you'll get more, and that's always a good thing. Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat
Well,
shalom.
I just had one comment. River Park is friendlier than Central Park. But I'll shut up.
I mean, the rats are smaller,
Oh, definitely.
so, I mean, the rats are smaller. It depends on what part of Central Park you're in.
Yeah.
I mean, there are parts that are very, very friendly. On the subway, we see the bigger ones. Well, the food is better there. I mean, the food is better. All right, we have a little bit of Kiddush. Last week, I ran past it. But here we are. Vayiher vayiboker yom hashishi, vayichulu hashamayim v'haaretz v'chol tzeva, vayichol Elohim bayom hashvihi melachto asher asa, vayishbot bayom hashvihi mikol melachto asher asa, vayivarech Elohim et yom hashvihi. Vayikadesh oto, kivo Shabbat, mikol melachto, asher bara Elohim la'asot. Savri, Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech olam, borei peri hagafen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech olam, asher kiddeshanu mitzvotav v'ratzavanu. B'Shabbat kodsho, Yahava ufratzot, Hilchilanu, Zikaron l'maaseh Bereshit, Ki hu yom techila, l'mikrae kodesh, Zecher l'tziat Mitzrayim, Ki banu bacharta, V'atanu kidashta mikol ha'amim v'shabbat kodshecha v'yahava ufratzot hilchaltanu Baruch atah Adonai mekadesh Shabbat. Page 272, we'll continue. Aleinu. Aleinu l'shabeach l'adon ha'kol, l'adveitu l'aliyotzer b'reishit, shelo asanu k'goyei ha'ratzot, v'lo samadu k'michot adama, shelo samchatinu kahem, v'gol rabeinu, Yehovah, V'anachnu urim, u'mishpachim umodi, Lifnei melech, Mochnei hamlachim, Akadosh Baruch Hu. Shehu notei shamayim v'yosef haaretz, u'motzeh b'karov ha'shamayim imah, U'shnei nachtuzo, L'kol b'nei Romi, U'Eloheinu Echad, Emet Malkeinu et Tesulato, Atatu v'Torato, Yadad hayom v'hashevota, Elecha, Ki Adonai hu Elohim, B'shamayim imah, Yaharetz, Yitkachat Eino. Vayom hahu yeh Adonai echad, U'shemo echad. May be seated. This week we observed Shloshim for Joseph Horn, and we've observed the following yard sites. Saul Kaplan, Harriet's husband, Sharon's father. Walter Stern, Bernice's husband, father of Marcia, Wendy, Kathy, and Harriet Jean. Shirley Mendelowitz, Jack Gottlieb's sister. Isabel Seligson, Mary Lee Glazer's mother. Lloyd R. Frankel, Maxine's husband, father of Stephen, Jeffrey, and Andrew. Sam Colker, Joe and Herb's father. Orrin William Smith, Jr., father of James Morris Smith. Sadie Fetter, mother of Henry, Simon, Herman, Noah, Charlie, and Edith. Morris Booz, Rose's husband. Carolyn Sue Cohen Witten, David Uncle